I hit the button. I'm gonna see if it's working.
Alright, make some noise! Whoa!
Alright.
Whoa!
We are alive. Yes. Let's see what's happening.
You all are psychos.
Oh, are we?
Yes.
God
Everything is
damn right.
everything is going perfect. We're starting off great.
Oh. I see.
Alright,
Alright.
so
Let's see.
let me handle introductions, I guess. Hello everyone. Players and viewers included, if this will have any.
Uh,
Um
Well, not yet.
this give a second. This is our first session of our first live campaign as natural disasters in the Wrath and Glory system of the Warhammer and 40k universe. And the title of this campaign is Hellfighters. It will join the adventures of 4 or possibly more characters going through a series of dramatic events with the occasional comedic timing to oversee some dreadful and certainly not anything that were prepared for missions. Now, as I said, we're using the Wrath and Glory 2.1 system, and we're playing on Roll20. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce our players. On the role of our favorite Ogre warrior, we have Amakar Geist,
Yes, it is me.
Known as
I am
Big-
Amakar.
also known as Big Mek Borgats.
No, Big Mek Plays.
Oh,
That's me on the
right.
channel. You be
Very
finding my
nice.
other stuff there.
Did Ty just fart?
No, sorry.
No, I think he was fixing his chair.
I think
Right,
that
so
was the
I
Mek.
thought you just farted then.
we're trying to keep this professional. God damn it.
It's
Alright.
okay. It's okay. The Commissar
As one-
believes in you, and so do I.
As one of our Tempestuous Scions, we have Blackwood.
Greetings.
Excellent. As our other Tempestuous Scion, we have Art of War.
Salutations.
Amazing. And last but not least, we have a rogue trader, Warden.
Hello.
And now you're in it anyway. And
Boy.
I'm Sir Reaper, and I will be their, well, some would argue a chaotic entity of the warp, but I prefer to call it their game master. I would call it dungeon master, but I doubt we'll find many dungeons in the 40k universe unless Slanesh is involved, in which case they still won't be the dungeon you think. Anyway,
And also
Now-
to avoid legal
In
issues.
which case, we're literally boned.
Well, I am big boned. My mom said so.
oh, we're all big bone dust with that.
It's because I'm an ogre.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly, and nothing else. So, without further ado, I would like to begin our session, and to do so, we are going to have a little bit of an introduction to the world of this game dark universe.
I believe it's time to set up the music.
I just did.
All right.
So,
Hitting new scene.
I will ask for everybody to give me the scene for a second as I make our intro. So, the year is the 42nd millennium. The Ultima Age has been ushered in, and so has everything else that came with it. The world has suffered a long, by now 11,000 years actually, of endless war after the dreadful days of the Horus Heresy, and the Emperor is still the Carrion Lord presiding over the Golden Throne, inanimate and motionless, but still alive through the strenuous sacrifices made by hundreds and hundreds of psychers every day so that he may stay so. Across the stars, humanity finds itself fighting all sorts of battlefields, from ones as obvious as those of the Astra Militarum, to ones as evasive and not obvious as the ones of the many administrative service of the Imperium, such as the Inquisition. Now, in this grim era of darkness, of course, the threat of chaos looms over as ever. And we find us, and our story takes place in a system where the shadow of chaos seems to be spreading even further so, threatening to engulf it completely. This is the system of Periandor, a system that compiles of 7 planets and is known for being generally a very valuable resource for the Imperium, having provided as many resources as it can on across multiple worlds, one of its worlds having been deemed a paradise, and its oceanic heaven that has been turned into a refuge for the sanctimonious and the religious folk. Some would even call that what's the name for those worlds? Shrine World, yes. Now, the system also comprises of a large gas giant whose 2 moons have been turned into bases of military advancement and testing by the Cult Mechanicus. The 2 hive worlds have become nearly inhospitable due to the constant amassing of resources from the planet, as the mining world of the system has turned against those who live in it and is tearing itself from the inside with constant earthquakes and lava spouts everywhere. Then there is the savage world, the quote-unquote feral world of the system, which, while still more lush than most, still is not the kind of place you want to be in. Insanely large flora and fauna are lurking everywhere, and survival is a daily struggle. In other words, the only place that has it good is the aforementioned Paradise World, where heroes of the Imperium retire to the rest of their lives, however short those may be, and their offsprings get to experience the delightful pleasures of such a world. Now our story takes place within the system at large, so eventually we'll get to have more on all of those beautiful places of the Emperor's will. But the system itself presides in segmentum obscurus. So while within the Emperor's gaze, it is as distant from it as could be. Not by distance, but by, well, obscurity, as the name would imply. Inquisitor Uriah Maddox. He has been appointed to investigate the rising rumors of heresy that have taken hold of Periandor, which has led him to discover a conspiracy that is in the works within the hives, factories, mines, and shrines of the world. Not precisely knowing where to turn to find the root of this heresy, he requested inquisitorial support from his fellow inquisitors, but was denied on account of lacking sufficient proof. And thusly, Inquisitor Maddox has called for a call to arms that our protagonists will be called to answer. For now, we turn our gaze towards a shape of the Imperial enforcement, those who keep the law within the endless clats of the Imperium. We see a hallway filled with cells, each of them containing prisoners that have been deemed worthy of the Emperor's mercy in the most brutal way possible. As our story begins, one of those cells is stacked by the baton of an enforcer. And the enforcer turns to the cell and goes, "Wake up!" As the lights shine across the corridor, and within the cell, we see a large, hulking figure with a proud mustache, somehow still well maintained despite the harshness of prison, and well-kept hair, as the towering figure stands against the bars of the cell and looks down upon the enforcer.
Is it time to wake up already?
Another figure wearing what appears to be a powdered wig and a lot of ornate augmentations, holding a data slate, appears before you and says, "You must be the one they refer to as Maximum.
Yes.
Isn't that right, Maximilian?" "Yes,
Maximo would nod.
indeed. Yes, indeed. I wonder if the rumors are true. Keep an eye on this one, enforcer." "As you wish, sir." "Now, Ogren, I'm gonna open your cell. Stand in line at the hall. No funny business."
Yes, sir.
And he sparks his shock mole towards you.
Maximo will comply.
And as he opens the door, the fellow with the data slate moves on to the next cell.
Where are we going?
So, the next cell, the enforcer strikes against the bars as the light seems to have done nothing for waking up the person inside, and yells, "David Victorsis, stand!"
As David wakes up, he gets off of his knees from the center of the room as he appears to have fallen asleep while meditating. As he just looks at the enforcer.
The fellow with the powdered wig and the data slate looks at you. "And you are David Victorsis, correct?"
Affirmative.
"Good. Enforcer, stand him in the line behind the ogre. Let's move on to the next one." And the enforcer basically opens your door and basically gestures to you with his shock mole to stand behind the ogre.
He does as asked.
Yes. I will inform that all of you are currently wearing your prisoner's clothing and magnacles on both your hands and legs.
They look
You are
dread awful.
capable. Yes.
Can I at least
Yes,
keep
you
the
do.
hat?
No.
I'm sad.
But you can keep the sunglasses.
I will take it.
Moving on to the next cell, the enforcer calls you to attention. Lucas Viker, stand.
When he arrives, I'm currently just sitting on the quote unquote bed, and when he calls me to attention, I just slowly rise and just approach the bars calmly without any complaint.
The wigged fellow turns to you. Lucas Viker of the Death Course of Craig, correct?
Yes.
Right. Just stand him behind the other two. Form them into a line, you know. The enforcer opens your door and, like, they barely bother to make it obvious for you.
I go in line.
And lastly, still asleep despite the noise and the lights, you hear a loud clang against the bars of your cell as you hear the enforcer go, "Wake up, prisoner!"
I immediately jump up, finger guns at the rays. I look around the room just with a hey. Morning already.
Stand to
I'm just
attention.
gonna say you sounded like Johnny Bravo then.
Yeah, that was
Stand to attention.
right. He strides over to attention.
The powdered fellow looks at you and goes, "I assume you must be Austin Alsar.
Sarcasm.
Don't you speak up to me, prisoner."
He does the motion of just zipping it.
Stand him in line with the rest, and if he doesn't behave, prod him. And the fellow moves on. The enforcer opens the door for you and basically shoves you to line.
Alright. Yeah, he walks in line and will be on good behavior. He'll be a good boy. For now.
You notice that there's like about a couple of enforcers for every let's say 4 or so members. You're basically in 2 rows. Row 1, the first 4 is you 4. Row 2, the first 4 are nobodies. They're backup characters.
And fire for later.
And as the time passes, where you're standing in absolute silence because the enforcers are looking at you, waiting for one of you to do something, slowly a large line forms
Yeah.
before.
Maximo is just basically just waiting and just following instructions as best he can.
And when the line has formed completely, ahead of you stands a figure wearing a very angry-looking helmet with an Imperial Aquila and a large black jacket. Those of you who are very familiar with the Imperium, so all 4 of you, would know this as an arbiter. And with a large Vox unit right in front of his mouth that propels his voice for hundreds of meters, he looks at all of you and goes, "Prisoners, march!" and starts heading out. As the line of prisoners begins to walk behind him. And this is your chance to do a little bit of banter if you wish to until you arrive at your destination.
I wonder where they're taking us this time.
Well, they don't have a bags overhead, so it means the likely chance it's not an execution, which I'll take.
I hope it's an early lunch.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Or extra breakfast.
What time is it? Hey, he sort of looks to the other guy next to him. Hey, smooth. Hey. Not flirty, hey, but you know what I mean? This isn't Into the Spider-Verse, hey.
The guy looks at you. If I was to describe him, have you ever seen like the chem addict hair from Fallout?
You mean every other hairstyle?
Yeah, like the few strands here and there. That's what his head looks like. Excessive scarring. And he just looks at you and like grunts and then looks forward.
Sorry, I just immediately thought you have a great mouth, boy. It's like, alright, turns to the left of him.
I would say
The left
yes.
is even more intimidating. That's where the enforcer is.
He looks straight ahead to the next prisoner, hopefully with more hair
I
at least.
think that would be Art of War's character.
Yeah, that would be Lucas.
Right, perfect.
Mm.
Hi, hello. Austin.
Lucas.
Nice. Griegsman?
Correct.
Nice. Stock go ahead.
If you
Okay,
wish to
we
talk, you
try
could try.
okay.
You could try raising your voice. You could try raising your voice and get shot for all I care.
Right, good old Kriegsman banter. Sort of looks around. If anyone else wants to say anything?
As you look around, you like lock eyes with the enforcer right next to you holding his sock mole.
The sunglasses just sort of like lower down and he pushes it back up. Ooh, real party in here.
I would advise the soft worlders to remain silent. That includes you, Kriegsman.
I just nodding in compliance.
I'm going to shut up from here.
Yeah, I'm honestly surprised that the Kriegsman wouldn't, like, say, I'm a death wielder, not a soft wielder.
When have they ever given a shit?
Yeah, they never complain about anything. You know this.
Oh yeah, no, they don't complain. It's just that most Kriegsmen hate being compared to, like, regular guardsmen, which would be classed as a soft wielder.
Yep.
I believe it's just not natural.
And
I mean, to
as
be
you're,
fair, never mind.
as you're moving forward, eventually you all come to a stop at a hangar bay where you see small transport vehicles known as Hellfighters.
Oh,
And yeah, those are very claustrophobic.
I don't like that type of thing.
And the arbiter turns around and goes, "Alright, everyone, start boarding the ships. Groups of 8. Do so orderly and without causing any problems." And as he says that, he like also like brandishes his maul. You might notice that none of these guys have a gun at the ready, but all of them have a maul at hand. And the prisoners begin to make groups of 8 and heading into the vehicles.
I'm guessing those with Ogrins have to make groups of 6.
Well, yes.
You have to pull up the middle armchair seat.
See, an Argus Lighter has enough seats for 12 people, including the pilot and the passenger seat essentially, which is the guy for the cogitators. But 4 of those seats will be enforcers. 1 will be the pilot, 1 will be the enforcer and the cogitators, and 2 of them will be basically there to keep the peace. So every Argus Lighter has already 4 enforcers in it.
Are we still manacled?
Oh yeah.
Okay. What do I have to roll for my fear test?
All right. You have a thing for tight spaces, don't you?
Indeed.
Yeah, Ogrin.
I guess I roll my resolve.
Oh, I am terrible at this. First roll of the day. I rolled a complication. Nope, I'm not going on that. It's too small.
Now, to explain complication for those who don't know, it means that not only does he fail, but also he does a bad job, and I, the DM, get a benefit for it called the ruin point.
Actually,
Now-
oh yes, because of my failed to fear. Yes.
Yes.
No, please don't shove me on that. I'm tired of small places.
I have
And-
gas. Oh god.
The arbiter, like, there's an enforcer that tries to approach you, and the arbiter puts a hand and goes, "You guys actually hear it. Maximo, you don't, but the rest of you hear it. Don't you ever don't approach ogres like that unless you don't like your position in the Emperor's plan." And then the arbiter actually calls for the magistrate, the guy with the powdered wig. "We have an ogre situation. You might want to take over."
No.
Fine.
No.
So he leaves the data slate with one of the enforcers and walks forward, and he goes up to you, Maximo, and goes, "Hey, big guy.
I'm not going on that. It's too small.
It's only gonna be for a little bit, and then you're gonna be at a very big place.
That's what the others said.
It's gonna be even bigger than this one."
All right, I think they probably
And,
need to do a leadership test to try to convince Maximo.
Yeah, okay, let's see. How many
It's
rolls
difficulty
would
2 because of my fear test.
I need to find how much would the magistrate of the arbiters would normally have. Thankfully, we do have the means of knowing
If you
that.
want to, just do default 6.
Alright. That also works.
Yeah, just make yourself a character
Uh,
sheet on your end, and you just use a PC character sheet and just leave it blank, so you can just use it. For
I'll
rolls.
just roll 6d6.
All right. I hope one of them's the rat die, the first one, or the last one. Let's see.
The last one, as usual.
All right,
So let's see here. That would be 3 icons.
3 icons. That'll succeed. In
Yeah,
this.
and with 3 icons, she's gonna also tell you, and they will have. He looks at his data slate to see like where you're from. A lot of fancy golden stuff there.
Golden stuff. I guess. Okay. I just do it for the golden stuff.
And the
Yes.
Emperor.
Yes, the Emperor. Definitely the great golden mustache himself. I'll do it for him.
Yes.
He'll sheepishly walk onto the ship itself as it creaks underneath his weight.
One of the enforcers like lifts one of the arms from one of the chairs, so you can like sit on both of them without having anything in between.
Thanks.
And he will sit down and try to fumble by putting on the crush webbing.
These are too small.
Have you ever seen a kid that was too large for one of those like kid braces? Try to go into one of them, and they look all squeezed. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
At this time,
It's
they
very-
probably have to duct tape the ogre into the wall.
Well,
That's it. You're going inside the no-no corner.
Just, no, I don't want to be duct taped to the wall again.
well, it's less so that and more so the enforcers are thinking, if there's turbulence, we're dead. Because an ogre flying around an Arvis lighter at 40 miles per hour.
Good. Someone brought
We don't need
the
tumbling
animal
meat.
to the moving truck.
See, always secure your refrigerators, guys, or you're having it sliding around the back, crushing everything.
Exactly.
No one wants a
Always secure
refrigerator
your
flying towards you.
I mean, remember the beginning of Halo? Yeah, that Spartan armor crashing around in full Mjolnir gear all over that pod certainly killed everyone, so let's not have that. So, now that Maximo has entered the Arbus later, goes the guy that was next to him and sits.
I think that would be my character.
Well, the one next to him, I mean, on the
Oh.
rows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so an NPC. And then, slowly but surely, all of you board the lighter. Basically, 2 non-player characters and the 4 of you.
You will see Maximo himself idly twiddling his mustache, trying to make sure it's straight. Trying to distract himself from the small space.
Now, I want to ask a question. Who would sit where in, like, consider there's like 4 seats on one side and 4 seats on the other, and Maximo has taken the 2 seats that are like on one side near the exit.
I'll sit either like next to or opposite the Ogre because I didn't pay enough attention to what you said. Mostly just because if I die that way, it'll be quick.
Alright, so you sit opposite of the Ogre. Where does David want to sit?
David's gonna sit same side as the Ogren, but closer to the pilots. But like
Alright.
closest seat to the pilot.
And what about you, Lucas?
Lucas takes the seat opposite the Ogren.
So you're gonna sit next to Austin.
Yep.
Alright, so there's like one guy between David and Maximo, and 2 guys next to Lucas and Austin, and then there's like Austin and Lucas who know that if the ship turns a certain way, that might be the end of them.
I'm just gonna say this, David just slowly turns to face the guy that's just sitting between him and the Ogren.
He looks at you. What do you want?
Stares at him. Just looking him straight in the eyes, just continuously staring.
He like starts looking at the ceiling, ignoring you. At least
David's
trying
just
to.
gonna stare at him the entire time.
Yeah, he's trying to ignore you. He's evidently failing. You can like see sweat forming on his forehead. He has like a very
Height for a human, which is probably around like 5 foot.
he's a big guy, like he's built, and he has like a very unkempt mohawk. And he has like gang tattoos on him. So you can tell that he's probably some sort of scaver or ganger. Anyway, and as that happens, you all hear the door close behind you, and you hear that pneumatic hiss as the basically the. Now, is there exiting or locking in? I don't remember which.
Basic pressurizing the chambers.
Yes. So, as the pressurization commences, you all hear the sound of the engines firing up and exiting the freighter, the bay area. and as it exits into outer space,
Mm-hmm.
those of you that may look at the pilot's window will notice that what they seem to be approaching is a giant ship that looks massive by comparison to the one you were just in, of black and gold. If that ship had a skill that was excelling at, that skill would be intimidation.
I'm just gonna say, it's brave of you to assume that David would look. He's continuously just staring at this one guy.
Yes.
As
And-
Maximo's twirling and working with his mustache, trying to keep it steady and straight as the ship jostles on you, he actually glances.
Oh, that's a big ship. She was right. It is bigger than the next one.
Mhm. And whoever wants can roll me an intelligence test to see if you know what kind of ship this is.
All right.
Intelligence
I will roll.
or pilot with intelligence,
I
whichever you
rolled a
think is better.
4.
Ooh.
One with the glory. I know what
Oh,
that
okay.
is. Mama told me. Plus the commissar.
I'll give it a shot. Pilot.
Pilot with intelligence if you're all pilot.
Oh yes, I forgot something. I always forget something. Mama says she'll never forget.
I'm gonna roll 1d6 for my personal.
All right. All of you roll a 1d6 for your daily objective.
Okay.
Use
You
my
can find your objectives
tremendous
in
bulk to
your
dominate a
personal.
social situation. I see.
Blackwood. You do that as well. Roll a d6 for your personal objective for the day.
D6.
All right.
Ah,
So, the only who would get it with a DN of 3 is Maximo, and he will also grant the party 1 glory. Maximo, with a DN of you would have been you actually remember this from your time with the other nice mustache man. The ones
The
that you fought in the war with.
Victorian warriors, yes.
Yes, you remember a big one like that, and you remember the smart old guy with the weird eye, calling it a retribution class battleship. He told you it was very big and very powerful.
Maximo
And
will
yeah,
nod
for
at that and just.
Very powerful indeed.
For those who want a better description of what it looks like, it is a giant black ship with golden details and a very large prow that has an ornate aquila on it. And these type of ships usually make other Imperial ships look small by comparison. They're gigantic. And this one in particular, on the sides of the ship, has a symbol that none of you has ever seen before. A large iota with a skull in the middle. To those who don't get that above game, that's the symbol of the Inquisition.
Oh, boy.
One of them, at least. So, as you approach this mysterious black ship, is there anything you'd like to discuss?
Maximo doesn't have much to say.
Well,
Is
I actually have a quick question for him. Just to sort of break this tension. So, big guy, where are you from? Nice mustache.
Thanks. I am from the world of Vistoria. I am a firstborn.
Nice.
Where are you from?
Bounced around a bit, but based from the Nocturne system myself.
Sounds like night.
Yeah. Good old home system of them salamander types. Big, flaming green.
Salamanders. Sounds interesting.
Yeah. Really, really like dragons and fire. And
I
hair.
never seen a dragon, but I don't know what a dragon looks like anyways.
Big lizard, breathes fire. Really hard to kill.
That's...
And Maximo starts going into contemplation, trying to imagine what a dragon looks like.
Just a tokay gecko with a lyre in its mouth.
Basically, it's just a child thought. It just big scary green crayon drawing of a dragon or lizard with fire coming out of its mouth, and just burn. Just,
Surprisingly accurate.
I get it. Actually, I don't.
No worries.
And with that, your short trip comes to a stop as you all bounce a little from the Arva's lighter land.
ignore the grunts from Maximo. He seems a bit discomfort.
And you all hear the pneumatic hiss as the door opens. And once it does, what you stare on the outside, you expect it to go places, but you didn't expect a greetings party. But what you do see is a lineup of inquisitorial stormtroopers. Guns aimed at the doors of these Arvus lighters. And it's not just a lineup in front of you. You see ones on railings above. They seem to be in position to fire at whoever and whatever exits those ships. Behind them is another lineup of unique individuals, each all standing to attention in front with their faces turned towards you, and behind them even is a podium-like area where a singular man is standing with a firm grip upon the podium, looking across the bay. And the enforcer goes, one of them at least, "All right, all of you, out of your seats and onto the deck. Quickly now."
Can someone help?
All right.
I'm being stuck.
I got you, big guy. I'm going to need some help over here.
Lucas will assist in helping the Ogren out.
David does as told and just
Basically, his
just
straps got a little too tight on him. And just with an audible click, and just
That was a little tight. Thanks.
David's already left the ship. Like as soon
He'll
as he was
get
told
up.
to get out, he got out.
Yep. Maximo will proceed to come out with the rest of the convicts.
Yeah, I just step over the road trader just to get off the ship as I head off the ship.
Watch the glasses.
And then the enforcer that's waiting for you outside, the stormtrooper, says, "On the deck and on your knees, prisoners. No funny business. Move along." Not speaking to any of you specifically, just stating.
Yeah, hurry the fuck up. We ain't got all day. Come on.
Basically.
Yep.
So I assume you
on
will
my
all.
knees again.
Maximo will struggle, but get on his knees.
Mhm. So I assume you will all take a knee on the deck as you were requested.
Yes.
Slowly but surely, the Arbus Lighters disembark, and there is now a lineup, a small army, one would say, of prisoners that are just on their knees on this dock bay. Like, as far as the eye can see, what you see is railings with stormtroopers and prisoners underneath them. And you know that despite how many of you there are, this is not the place for funny business, especially those of you that are more accustomed to what a Hellgun does. Know that if one person stands up too fast, hundreds might die in a second. And with that, the figure on the podium looks at the looks across the incredibly huge lineup of people. And then the Voxcasters make a loud snap noise as he clicks a button, and he starts speaking into a mic on his podium. And before he says anything, you actually see him do hand signals to the Scions. That basically it's like, okay, make this formation, basically give information assigned before he speaks. And he then announces as such: Convicts, you are all to be granted death under the Emperor's mercy for sins that bear no question. Your loyalty has been broken, and the Emperor's trust has been betrayed by all of you. Instead, in his infinite benevolence, Inquisitor Maddox has offered you an undeserved second chance to fight as his vanguard in a secret war, one where you will all be tested in body, mind, and soul. Those truly loyal and pure among you will rise and join our ranks through faithful service, while those who fall shall do so in the Emperor's service. You will battle to prove Periandor is pure and the loyal system of the Imperium of Man, or you will die trying. Those of you that wish to undertake this task to earn a second chance may now slowly rise and take a step forward. And he takes a pause.
Maximo will look
David is
around.
immediately
Yeah,
the first one to stand up.
As Mom says, must do your duty.
And he will struggle get up and just and walks slowly forward. And we'll try to do a Historian salute.
Maximo reporting for duty.
Some of the stormtroopers try to keep composure with that one because they weren't expecting it. And slowly you see a very large lineup of prisoners step forward, but there's still a crowd behind. And soon, once the crowd ceases to move, you all hear behind you the unmistakable sounds of lasgun fire. There is no turning back now.
Quick question. Is the guy
Yes.
that is terrified in the lineup, or did he stay sitting down?
You know what? I'll say he is.
Oh,
Oh,
good, he's alive.
You could have rolled.
Nah, I want you to be around.
Hey, that sounds fun.
Is the guy
I want him to be around so I can torture him, because this isn't the first time I've tortured someone just by staring at them.
What's this be your third character? So, after the sounds of lasgun cease, Sir Wolf makes the snapping sound happen again by pressing the button. You are now prospects, expendable warriors of Inquisitor Maddox. pawns in the galactic game that will be used as seen fit. You will know me as Sire Wolf, Chief of Operations and leader of our troops. Anyone failing to address me as any of these will be given a firm kicking. I do not care who you were before, where you hail from, or whose boots you licked in your previous life. Those men and their deeds are now dead. You are now soldiers. You will sleep like soldiers. You will eat like soldiers. You will pray like soldiers. You will march and fight like soldiers. Am I understood, sirs?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Aye,
sir.
aye.
He will try to stand straight as possible.
There is a wave of like all forms of formation from yes, sir to I.
Or yeah, whatever.
Aye.
And you hear a last gunshot and just
Yes, sir. Glory to the Imperium. Glory to the Emperor.
Good. Now, you will all be appointed an agent to supervise you until you earn our trust. Do not fail them, for their reward is your life. You will enter teams of 4 for best efficiency and be shown to the hub areas by your supervisor. Now follow instructions and do as you are told. Until next assignment, I dismiss you. And he leaves his hand off the button. And it's at this point that everybody is to sit and wait. And let's see here.
Let's see, how many should I execute this time?
Yes. It's at this point that one of the members from the lineup that was in front of Sir Wolf step towards you as the 4 of you are lining up. You are the first in the first line. The first 4 in the first line, and goes, "Alright, you 4. You will be assigned as Squad Psi 3315. Is that understood?"
Sir, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Aye,
sir.
sir.
I also post in the Roll20 chat so all of you can take a note. Alright, you will be taken now to Hub Epsilon Residential Block 64 Cluster Beta, rooms 4 through 24. You will be appointed your rooms and be given 4 hours to prepare and rest before you present yourself at the Shrine Templum in order to pray to the Emperor and be given your first introduction with the Inquisitor. Am I clear?
Sir, yes, sir.
Yes.
What? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I nod in agreement.
Alright. So, now I want the 4 of you to pick me one number each between 4 and 24.
14.
20.
You know what? How about you all write those in the Roll20 chat?
I will take number 13. For it's my favorite number.
Right. So, the Inquisitorial Acolyte in front of you basically marches you to an elevator and you're sent to the habitation zones, which is on the... I'll tell you exactly which part of the ship. Yeah, it's on the first deck of the ship. Second deck is the basically the hangars and cargo area. Third deck is where all the important machinery is. And fourth deck is the sensorium, basically where all the very important things are. So, you're taken, as said, to habitation to habitation epsilon and residential block 64, cluster beta, and the rooms you chose. So to give you an idea of what that is like, they are common rooms, which is to say that there is several habitation spots. There is basically a hospitality area, which is the entrance, a merchant area, aka vending machines and whatnot, and a medical area on each habitation block. The rooms are larger than the lower habitation blocks that you would usually see on a military ship. So basically each of you have like a decent motel room to yourselves. And you are given 4 hours to essentially prepare and rest for meeting at the templum of the ship, which you have been instructed is at the end of the corridor that unites the habitation zones.
Alright.
Oh, what I would like to know now is what would the four of you, not all at once please, do in those 4 hours that you have to basically prepare and rest? You don't have your equipment yet, I will inform you, but you have been given basically essentially more proper clothes to wear so you don't march in there with prisoner outfits. And you had your magnacles removed, of course.
Maximo will explore his room and try to get himself acquainted.
It's much bigger than I expected, and more roomy than the cage. Well, cell. Even the bed, it looks more comfortable.
I heard you say something else at that last moment.
The bed is basically what would be normally a two-person bed, but for you it's a perfectly fit one ogre bed as long as you tuck your knees in a little.
It's not the worst I slept on.
Yeah, there is like there is a restroom area. Evidently you were given like an appropriate habitation for your size.
I believe they were waiting for me.
Essentially they have like different habitations for normal people and different ones for ogre, space marines, bigger fellows.
Big boy.
Well, he's a big boy, biggest boy.
Accounting that this was made for a space marine, probably, it's not exactly perfect to fit an ogre, but it's not like it can't fit an ogre. You just have to duck a little when you cross the door. Still better than having to duck a lot when you cross the door.
Indeed. He'll try to format the place to his liking. And that'll be his scene.
Right? Who wants to go next?
Lucas will start performing some light training, just enough to get him stretched out a bit from being transported from cramped cell to a freighter. Lucas.
Okay, who's speaking now? Because I can't tell.
Me, Art.
Alright. Sorry, I'm mistaking you for Blackwood for a second there, my bad.
No
Oh,
worries.
thanks.
Don't worry, Blackwood, I can recognize you because you're British.
Hey, listen,
Apparently, we're
sometimes their accents blend, and so do their tones. Because they're both stormtroopers to me.
Fair
See,
enough.
they're both the guardsmen to me.
We are the ideal guardsmen.
As you said, Lucas is trying to get accommodated, and what else?
Performing some light training to essentially stretch the limbs a little bit, since he was in one cramped cell to a cramped fighter.
Yeah, we're trying to get the blood flowing again and get back into shape. It certainly feels good to be free again, at least to some degree. Now, who would like to be next?
Nah,
Blackwood, would you like to go
Alright.
next?
Basically, looking around the room, how big is the room and how cluttered is it?
It's clean, very clean. Like servitor cleaned.
Cool.
You mean sterile?
And- Yes. And it's, as I said, it's basically a decent motel room.
Alright.
Like not a hotel, but
Like, is
not a
everything
damp
like,
either.
just put around neatly the room, or is it like all like in random spots?
Everything is neatly, and generally, if I was to describe the room, I would say it has no personality.
Alright. Perfect. As David basically just like looking around the room, he goes into the middle of the room and just gets into a sort of a meditative pose as he just turns off the lights and just begins meditating.
All right, nice. And I guess that leaves Austin.
right. So Austin, sort of, I would assume he has a mirror, right?
Yes.
He'd lift up his sunglasses and he'd basically just start acting this out, sort of going through the sort of different voices and expressions and all that through his head. He's working on his character for how he wants to portray this, because he knows that he's going to be getting into these tough situations where he has to say the exact right thing coming up, especially with the Imperial guys, and especially as a criminal. So he's working on just precisely getting down the right expressions, the right body language, everything he needs to be able to pull something like this off, to survive this. He's done it before, he'll do it again, but he needs to do it better, obviously. So essentially he's talking to himself in the mirror for 4 hours.
I somehow knew you would find a way to make that whole thing just become a. So yeah, so basically he's doing that funny thing.
Hey, it's my signature.
It doesn't hurt to have one.
Yeah.
So you all spend your time doing all sorts of like activities that you described, and there's a few things that happened during the time that let you know about life on the ship. Oh, also, here's an image of Sire Hull for everyone.
My god, he got the Mr. Punchy model.
Yes. And if you click on the image, you can actually zoom in.
Oh,
I
cool.
like his hat.
And yeah, so as you're doing all of that, several things happen that let you know of like what the life on the ship is. And essentially how things go around here. For example, there's the occasional vox call referring to some habitat of the ship to present to a certain area of the ship. There is the occasional servitor passing outside and cleaning the corridors. There's the hymnals that chime in for a few minutes to the vox, just basically thought of the day. A closed mind is a pure mind, and things like that.
The
And-
Emperor is inevitable.
Thought of the day, the Emperor protects. And so
The
on.
Emperor says he proves.
And as you are practicing in front of your mirror, Austin, you swear at some point you saw something weird on the wall behind you through the mirror, like a stand symbol with all of the practicing of your accents and whatnot as you were like on the corner of your eye. So you turn to look around, but you don't see anything. Must have been some weird mirror stain.
Nope. He just lowers the sunglasses. Nope. Just like out in the middle of the room. I heard enough of that. That on the rogue trips. That didn't happen. Hello, Austin. Time to get back to practicing. That didn't happen.
And to that point, you hear a voice through chime inside each of your rooms that goes, "Attention to all of the Inquisitorial militia. Present yourself at the Templum for your daily prayers and communication with the Inquisitor."
I see. Oh, I had to use the restroom. Now,
David's
right back.
immediately going there.
He'll start heading there too as well after he's done using the restroom.
So you all step onto the corridor and start heading towards the outside of the habitation zone, so you can enter the large corridor that leads to the Templum. And as you're all walking down the corridor, there is this sea of people floating towards this temple slowly. And it only now occurs to you how big this is, that they basically requested an army of convicts to fight for them. This is not a case of 100 people. This is a case of, if we had this many in one of our armies, some of you that know about the middle term thing, we could make a regiment. There's an Imperial regiment's worth of people here. There is an army.
And we have a hull.
Yes.
I'm
This
sorry,
one has
I
a
had to make that
mustache.
reference.
And one thing you do notice is there's also other people who are not heading towards there, who are just basically looking at this crowd from the sidelines. Some of them bear like certain like accessories that denote they're of higher rank. Others have like uniquely detailed dogmatics. Some have very nice weapons. And they're all looking at you as you pass down the corridor, murmuring to themselves. And some of the whispers you catch are like, Looks like this is the new blood. Or like, this must be the army that Maddox found after. It's Inquisitor Maddox. Don't let him catch you say it like that. And there's generally a lot of banter and gossip about this large swarm of people heading towards the temple.
I'm just gonna say this. As soon as David hears the one missing out the Inquisitor's title, he just immediately just stops and stares at him.
They don't seem to pay you much attention. You can tell that this is either somebody who doesn't care or somebody who has enough authority to not care.
He then just continues. As he has basically just looked at this guy just to see what he looks like, just to remember him for the future.
Oh, I'll tell you what he looks like. Ever seen a guardsman?
Yeah.
Imagine a guardsman who made good in life and managed to move out of the guard.
Ah. So it looks like even his mustache has a 14 confirmed kills. Got it.
Yeah. Well, his plasma gun definitely does, I'll tell you that. And eventually, as you are walking further and further towards the temple, you start noticing that the people that are closer to the temple are uniquely different, and they all don't seem to be talking, but rather they seem to be scouting the people walking by, as if they're like inspecting each and every one of you. And they look menacing. They look like they could splay open your soul with a mere stare. They all seem to bear a very similar symbol somewhere on their body, that large iota you saw on the side of the ship. Above game, these are interrogators. Essentially an Inquisitor's little private retinue of agents that goes around and does stuff for him. There's a good number of them here. And slowly but surely, you make it to the temple, and you all get inside this large golden structure of pure beneficence and benevolence, with a giant statue of the Emperor Ascendant stepping on the head of a drake with his sword skyward, and his angels, the Space Marines, in statues behind him, essentially making a march movement towards the Emperor of Man. There's pews, hundreds of them, for all of you to sit, and at the feet of the statue lies a large but tiny by comparison podium with a very big vox unit for the members of the ecclesiarchy to sing you their psalms. And this is where we'll start playing this. And I hope. And this is one of the moments that hasn't occurred in your recent prisoner life, or once again as you stand in a place full of the Emperor's beneficence. His golden gaze from the statue staring upon you no matter where you look at from the room. What would be your, let's say, reactions, internal or external, upon entering the place of reverence? Let's start with
Maximo
Maximo.
will look around in wonderment and
Oh, it's so big and golden. And right, that statue of the Emperor is wrong. He doesn't have a mustache. He's supposed to have a great, glorious mustache. I might have to talk to someone about that.
Several people
It's about to be
several
excellent.
people that are around him, because remember he exited a while after you, so he's in a different part of the flock, basically look at you with eyes that have the sentence "what the fuck" when you say that.
Just that one cat. It's just like banana cat.
Yeah, all of them wonder how you managed to say that without getting shot in this room. And then they remember.
because everyone has their own
It's an
interpretation of what the Emperor looks like.
Yes,
And he's 8
As
feet
long
tall.
as it's the Emperor, of course.
actually, he's 12 feet tall. I
He's
dare to
12 feet
inform you. Yeah. This man's model has the same has almost the same size as an old dreadnought model.
Yeah, it's because they don't have a gun big enough at the moment to do it in one
Yes.
shot.
What would be David's internal or external reaction to this?
As soon as David enters the threshold of the sanctum, he finds a corner and basically just goes into the stance that is more typically used for a silent prayer,
Mhm.
like for a prayer that wouldn't be spoken.
Yes. Perfect. Lucas.
As Lucas enters, he just makes the sign of the Aquila and just says in a low tone, "My faith is my shield, for it shall never break nor falter." As he takes a seat as well, and commits to a silent prayer afterward.
Do you sit next to David?
Not necessarily. It's a giant temple.
Right.
Yeah,
As Austin walks in, he just looks at that giant statue and he just goes, "God!" It suddenly looks at the very armed priest and looks back to the statue. "Emperor be praised."
And as you all take your respective seats, there is a very sacred and serious moment for everyone in there, with ecclesiarchy prayers, lessons from the life of the emperor and those of his sons. The 9 sons he had, because he had no more, that's the imperial truth. Had only 9, and they were all perfect. And above game, that's not a joke. That's actually what they teach the Paul of the Imperium.
Yep.
There were
Oh.
9 demons and 9 sons of the Emperor.
Yeah, just weirdly enough, just 9 demons out of nowhere. What? Who the fuck knows? Hell's weird. And it's hell. Definitely not the warp. What the fuck is the warp? Bang.
Exactly.
we have no idea what you're talking about.
Maximo is just enjoying the sights. Look, flying babies.
Yes, there's also the cherubs who are basically, there's like vox cherubs who are going around like basically patrolling, well, not patrolling, but basically doing certain paths across the temple to spread the sound even to those that can't really hear it in the back.
And also the incense being sprayed around too.
Oh, those are other ones to come after them.
Yeah,
Wow.
don't worry, they have lots of dead babies.
They're not dead babies. They are They are robots. Well, not really, but
Arabs are actually made using dead
Sure.
babies. I'm not joking. They are actually made from dead babies.
no. Actually,
else?
their skin is made of a thing called Amakar. You know this.
They're actually genetically built to be that. Basically, just flesh amalgamations that
babies.
look like babies that turn into
Clone
servitors.
babies. So you know they're not babies to three of you, but they are babies to Lucas.
And Maximo.
No, you're not a clone. she's a creature.
Yeah,
Maximo
I'm the
just
only-
thinks of
Bullshit.
them as babies, of course, because of
Both him and those things came out of a vat.
oh,
Well, no, he could have come out of an actual womb because Krieg still reproduce naturally. It's just most of their soldiers do have to come from cloning vats because they're sending out too many.
The word that you used most. So the odds of Lucas having an actual mother, who knows? We'll never know, I guess.
Mama was a tube. I don't know why I sang that. Anyway,
Anyway,
moving
so
on to dead babies. No,
moving on from artificially dead babies. Then the prayer comes to a natural closure with a thank to the Emperor and a word of the day. Today's word is. Let me fetch a random one.
I thought today's soup
Um,
was. Oh,
Let's see here. Hold on, because my browser got stuck a second.
it's
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Ah, yes. Today's word of the day is: no man that died in the Emperor's service died in vain.
Maximo will nod at that.
It's true.
The guy next to you nods when you say that. Would you look at him? I can imagine you like point to the priest and say, "It's true." And then the door opens and you see a large retinue of servitors with sensors and other like regalia walk in, surrounding this servitor that has like basically it's two servitors carrying a large screen, let's say, and they have all of these other servitors with like sensors and regalia around them that walk in and take position ahead of all of you where the podium was as the ecclesiarch clears out from behind. And then the screen lights up and you see a man sitting on a black throne, gazing across the room. And he looks like this. And you all notice that one half of his gaze is that of a regular eye. The other half is that very terrifying red of the augmetic eye.
Very
And now,
intimidating.
and you hear the man speak. I am Inquisitor Maddox, convicts. The man offering you a chance to prove your faith on behalf of his Holy Inquisition. As long as you serve in the salvation of the Periander system, you will know that only the Emperor has more power over you than I do. My trusted retinue will put you through every test that you can imagine before we are done. Most of you will die to prove the heresy that I righteously sensed upon this system. But that will be a good death in his name, and a just reward for your lives. My trust is hardly earned, but once you do so, you will find that the benefits of service are plenty, though none is beyond my watchful eye. So any sign of heresy will be met with a fate you already have earned for yourselves. I will seek a brief conclusion to this meeting. You will all repeat after me on the following vows. Firstly, I vow to uphold the Inquisition's secrecy.
I vow to the Inquisition's secrecy.
Austin
All
takes
together
off-
now?
Austin takes off his glasses. Can you write this down?
Yes, I will actually give you all the vows and we'll go through them one by one, I guess.
I was just saying, write it down in the chat.
Because
We all
it'll be
can
nigh
say-
impossible
That's
for
probably
in synchrony.
fair point.
So,
So maximum. of
everybody say this.
Okay.
Ready?
I vow to uphold the Inquisition's secrecy. As he takes
I
off
vow
his
to
glasses.
uphold the Inquisition's secrecy.
I vow to uphold Inquisition secrecy.
I vow to serve the Emperor righteously and without question.
I vow to serve the Emperor righteously and without question.
I vow to serve the Emperor righteously and without question.
One of the two of you has to go next,
Just
you know
go in
that.
the same order you went last time.
All
I
together
vow
now.
to uphold the Inquisition's secrecy.
No, we're on the second vow.
Proves to
Same
me you have
Fight Club,
intellect
you
of
can
one.
talk about it here.
I vow to serve the Emperor righteously and without question.
I vow to serve the Emperor righteously and without question.
Very good. I vow to never lie to my superiors.
I vow to never lie to my superior.
I vow to never lie to my superiors. Just like Mama said.
I vow to never lie to my superiors.
I vow to never lie to my superiors.
I vow to not harbor the thoughts of heresy.
I vow to not harbor the thoughts of heresy.
I vow not to harbor the thoughts of heresy.
I vow to not harbor the thoughts of heresy.
I vow to not harbor the thoughts of heresy.
I vow to purge the heretic, the mutant, and the false god.
I vow to purge the heretic, the mutant, and the false god.
I vow to purge the heretic, the mutant, and the false god.
I vow to purge the heretic, the mutant, and the false god.
I vow to purge the heretic, the mutant, and the false god.
And with that, as everybody in the room repeats all of those, the Inquisitor leans back on his throne, his face now encumbered by darkness, as the rest of him, with only the crimson glow of his augmetic eye shining, and says, "No, your service is sealed." And the screen shuts close as the servitor units begin to move out.
Uh, False god. I only knew there was only one god, and that's the Emperor.
The guy next to you goes, "And that's why the others are false, big man."
Oh, I just didn't know.
If anybody else says that, they're false.
Maximo would nod at that.
And it's at this point that you're all given a word, basically. Attention squads! Forming your teams of 4 outside the Templum, and you will be assigned a planet and mission.
Oh, so soon. Alright.
Maximo will get up from the chair as you hear an audible squeak from the from the bench. And starts going to his assigned location.
Alright. So,
I don't know. What
I assume the
rest
4
are
of you.
I don't know what the rest of you doing.
I assume they're beginning to move out. Correct, guys?
Yes.
David is going to finish off his silent prayer, and just before he stands up, he speaks in a low, almost quiet tone, saying, "I vow to purge the traitor, and all who stand in his glorious way, for the Emperor's truth is my wrath. For I, his sword, his angel, his wings, and I am but a blade." As he gets up and just leaves. You did hear that, right?
Oh, yeah.
We did.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Good.
Can Austin do one little quick thing?
Yeah, of course.
He sort of looks to statues and all that, and sort of like does a little symbol over his chest. He says, "Flames of Nocturne, burn." Then he steps out.
Sir Reaper, your microphone's going weird.
Oh, it's because I think it's because writing stuff.
I'm hearing
Sorry
static.
about that. Oh, sorry about that, man.
It's okay.
So, I would like one of you, before you convene as a group, to take the brave decision and roll me 1d6. Who would like to do that?
I shall do it.
Okay, sacrificial. lamb.
Whoever's the
Go
leader
ahead.
of the group, I suppose.
Oh, wait a minute.
Do you really want to be the leader of the group, Ty?
Hat looks to the Inquisitor. No.
Oh, wait, what? What's going on?
Nothing. There is no group leader here.
Why?
We're all brothers in arms now. We're all brothers
very
in
quick.
we're all brothers in binds now. Look here from Rorikstead.
Oh,
Anyway.
you're finally awake.
I can imagine Maximus saying that to Austin. So, you all are convened.
I'm Ulfric Stormcloak because I'm mute most of the time.
Good and tall. So, you are all convened outside in your squad of 4. You're free to do a little bit of banter before we move on. Go ahead.
I don't think Maximo has much to say at the moment.
I mean, you've all gotten to know each other a little bit. No one's asked anything of my character. He's just been silent the entire time you've really known him.
Well,
You know more about the Kriegsman than my character.
Then say something.
He's not gonna say anything unless you ask him.
See, that's
Maximo,
your challenge, Ty. You have to be the speaker.
All right. You're the other guardsman, right? Right.
I talked to one of them. I've talked to all of them. He says.
Look, y'all look the same to me. You'll look to that one. I forgot your name.
David.
David. So, David, right? I think I heard your name brought up once or twice, right?
Yes.
Right. Where are you from?
He takes a deep breath and just looks you and just says, Zel Secundus.
Ooh, real fancy name.
You can make a history check on that if you like.
Yes,
It's
please.
also
I
known
have
as the
no
scholar
fucking
check.
clue.
Can I make a history check on that? I have no idea.
What's a history check? There's no history check on this thing.
Oh no, wouldn't it be? No, it's
Scholar.
It would be scholar.
Oh yeah,
That-
scholar. Yeah.
Yes.
I
Exactly.
definitely only know that because I went over. I scrolled over right as I said that. 2.
No idea.
No, that's a failure. You got a 0.
He got 0 icon.
0.
You have no idea. You've never heard of this planet before.
Honestly, the end would have been pretty high for this, says the DM. But yeah, you can evidently tell that none of the three of them have any idea about Zel Secundus.
Sounds like a shop. Sells Cassandus. I wonder what they sell.
It is not a shop. It is a mining colony in the
Oh.
Zell system.
My apologies. I'm Maximo.
And I'm Austin.
Hi, Austin.
Oh. 1 second here. Holy shit.
Are you thirsty?
Always. So, Dave, what
I think
tell
you
us
need to go
more.
talk to the doctors for that. I think it's a hydration issue.
It's some kind of issue, big man. But don't worry, I'm getting him. So, what kind of things happen in mining colony?
As you expect, mining. Though the planet is not very rich in materials, so we send out large machines to break up the surface of the planet into usable materials, whatever they are worth.
Real again to the grit of it. What'd you do? You're a miner or maybe security? Maybe the type?
I was but a child when I was taken from that planet.
Oh.
My parents were killed in a beast attack.
Oh.
It wasn't the
Unzel
dragon,
Secundus
right?
are large insectoid xenos that are big enough to swallow a chimera.
Oh, that's big.
Oh, okay.
They are specially designed to survive the planet and its atmosphere.
They
Maximo
sorry.
just imagine a cartoon, a crayon drawing of a giant beetle. Oh, swallowing a chimera trike.
Oh god, no,
I
it's a
want-
spider.
I want to make the above game note of yes, but can they survive getting getting idiot sandwiched by 2 melta bombs? That's a reference to another campaign, viewer.
And that is also a
Viewer.
reference to what I did, because I threw
Sorry,
two
sorry.
mortar bombs at a big monster.
Maximo doesn't get it.
No. But,
Nocturnian approves.
yeah. My character looks at you both and looks at the three of you and just goes, none of you would survive a single day on that planet. Even you, Kriegsman. Your equipment is too poorly handled. The reason for this is that Zel Secundus has a 24-hour... How would I say this? Glass storm. It is practically a storm that covers the entire planet, blowing small pieces of granite and glass at roughly 300 miles per hour.
That's
Not
fast.
to mention, if your suit is able to handle the environment, you'd have to worry about the atmosphere, as it is both toxic and acidic. It would begin to eat through any systems that your suit has. So surface exposure has to be limited.
Dope. Real tough place. Wow. Okay. So, I guess
There are
we're-
also acid storms.
I am from Festoria. Nice place. I came from Farmstead. The work is dirty, but it was good. I sometimes get to eat the vegetables when Mom allows me.
that sounds real nice.
Sometimes she says I eat too much because I'll grow too big. And look at me. I'm big. Too big.
Well, I think for what we're going to be doing, big guy, I think you're just right.
You'll nod at that.
So, Creeksman, from where are you from? Oh,
This is a very long walk.
yeah.
You're not watching anywhere. You're just standing. You're just standing outside the temple.
I thought we were moving.
I just imagine that when you go to say that, both the Kriegsman and my character just slowly just turn to look at you like, really, motherfucker?
Meanwhile,
Wait.
my guy's just like, yeah, really. Wait a minute.
That's
Where
where
is
the
the
party.
picture from?
Where are you from,
I'm-
Creeksman? We need to know.
I'm standing on the fringes of your guys' little group trying.
He's
I'm
just
outside your
barely
group
outside the
triangle
view
right
window.
now.
The one
Yeah.
who doesn't want to be on the field trip.
If you're going to sulk in the corner, Kriegsman, we will not need you on this operation.
Father doesn't want killed him. Father killed him.
Yeah, as he just looks at you and just goes, if you prefer, I could just execute you now. It is not the first time I have executed a coward.
I am no coward, minor. I am simply allowing you all to talk in peace without me interjecting. Is there any problem with that?
No. But what I do have a problem with is your people's attitude to your own saviors.
Oh, and why would that be so?
You are ashamed of loyal, honest Imperial guardsmen who fought against traitors You believe your past is shameful, yet I have only seen honor from your past. You exterminated bloodlines of traitors and heretics. And you still see shame.
Like
All
you
right.
would understand losing one's homeworld to war, being forced to make sacrifice upon sacrifice, to the point where the only thing we have left to sacrifice is our lives. You would know nothing of how much we lost due to those fools who believe them better than the Imperium. If you could see what we went through, you would understand without having to raise your mouth.
All right, you two. You both made your point, but we gotta remember.
What you're about to say, Austin, you are cut off by the sheer horror of gazing at the being that's standing between the two of them that they haven't noticed, which is what I could only describe as a gaunt horror of machinery with a red cloak that has parchments coming out of several parts of his body. Just standing like a scarecrow, looking with red eyes upon them.
He's very outstanding in this field.
The dude's reaction is he's just going, all right, you two, you both made your hole. How long have you been standing there?
I'm just gonna say, as soon as
3.16 seconds!
David just like turns to look at the tech priest and just goes, "Greetings."
Oh, that's not a tech priest.
It's a servitor.
No, that's not a servitor.
Oh, you said
It's
servitor.
Belisarius' call. Sorry.
What is it then?
Oh, that's what is known as.
A Skatari?
No. I'll tell you right now. Hold on a moment, I'll find him.
Men of Iron, run!
A Lex Mechanic. One of the creepiest types of cult mechanicus.
Yeah. David just looks in, just goes, "Greetings, honored Lex Mechanic. How may I assist you?"
You may shut up!
You may shut the fuck up!
And you see him like reel his head back as his neck opens and begins producing like a piece of parchment that like small fingers that come out of his mouth start writing on.
God, it's like the world's worst Pez dispenser.
You are
And
reported
he's
for
touching-
citation.
And he's touching out of like basically Vox vents that are on the sides of his face so this thing can actually write while he's talking. You have been appointed your first mission and the planet you shall be embarking on, as well as the interrogator who will oversee you. You are to make haste and be there within the next and be on the hangar within the next 3 hours. Any delays will be met with, and he looks down, punishments.
I thought he was about to say he ran out of ink.
As he closes his neck gap and like literally tears the paper on its own by closing, and
it's
hands you the
just-
paper with one of his tiny hands because this dude has like 8 of them.
I was thinking it just, you were reported for citation for lollygagging in the middle of the hallways. Report to...
He hands it to you, David.
David takes it.
What's
And
that?
then you see his torso turn around, and then you notice these like spider legs he has as he begins to walk away without turning his legs. They just walk backwards as easily as they came in.
Can we
I wa-
please never talk to that one again?
Get used to it.
It was
You won't be
quite
meeting
nice.
him again.
I think I conveyed the fear of talking to a mechanic to a member of the Mechanicus fairly well.
Oh, I love this.
Now,
Yes.
question: how many years off your voice box does that take?
I don't plan to live long.
Depends on the warranty.
Here for a fun time, not a long time. Moving
Exactly. So you see the page has like a lot of like brochure and procedure, like you have been appointed by the holy orders of the Inquisition. Anyway, cutting to the chase, the planet that you have been appointed to is called. Let me just make sure I'm writing this right. All right. It's called Castellaran Rex. And the information on the scripture you got says that it's a swamp death world.
Oh,
So imagine Katachan but wet.
I mean,
I thought Catachan was
Catachan's more of a
wet.
jungle death world, but hey.
No, Katachan is a jungle. This is a swamp. So Katachan but wet.
Yeah.
Wet. Catachan, but soggy.
Exactly.
It's
And
Catachan, but he's been left in the rice cooker for too long with too much water.
Great.
and
Wet
you are
toast.
told. Sorry, what?
It's great. Wet toast.
Yep. And you're told that you're going to be under the supervision of basically on-site agent called Interrogator Locke.
All right. Maximo will follow orders as best he can.
Yes, and you were told to basically get ready to get moving towards that in 3 hours you expect to be at Hangar B.
David
So you should
immediately goes to start getting ready.
Yes, you should.
As soon as he receives the paper, he's already gone.
Alright. And as you all share the information from the paper and begin heading out, you return to your rooms, I assume to get ready.
As best as
Yes.
possible.
You find your equipment.
Oh, thank God.
So all your clothes are described as seen on your art, all of the equipment you have on your equipment, and also there is another case. Your equipment was in like a white, a like army green metal case with the Imperial Aquila on it. There is also a smaller case next to that is black and has the golden iota symbol of the Inquisition.
All right then.
So it's like a badge?
No, it's a small metal case. You don't know what's in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll be the first one to
Maximo
open it.
will equip his armor, put on his flak armor, put his bright red Vistorian coat over his body, attaching the fasteners to. He reapplies his pants and boots, straps on the Ogren-sized buckles on his boots to keep them in place, and just. He will take a comb from one of the kits and comb his hair, his brown hair, in a nice location. Go to check his mustache in the mirror, readjust it as well to make it a nice, perfect, even handlebar mustache. And just,
that's good.
and then he will go. Do we have our weapons with us, or they'll be issued later?
Yes.
Okay.
Your weapons were included in the first case.
All right. And Maximo will pick up his favorite Ripper gun, and just.
All right, checking in all the procedures. Yes, everything's there. Good. All right, Maximo reporting for duty. All right, Make sure safety's on.
Click.
Good. They won't have any more accidents.
And Maximo will leave the room and head to his
Actually,
station.
as you are ready to leave, you see the little black case next to the equipment case you had.
Oh, I almost forgot. What's this?
Now we'll explain. So, as you all get your equipment donned in various ways and get ready as quick as you can, you then go to open the black case. And I will explain what it includes for each of you. But I would like, first of all, to know which one of you has the highest tech skill.
Tech?
Yes.
I have a 1.
Alright.
Maximo has a 2.
Lucas?
I've checked. I've proceeded to open the case as well.
What's your tech skill?
My tech skill is a 2.
Alright, so I'll tell you what each of your cases have. So the cases of David, Maximo, and Austin have the following equipment inside. I'm gonna post it in the Roll20 chat, but I will also announce it. A moment.
So is this like bonus gear that you're giving us?
Oh yes,
Okay.
hit the nail on the head.
Ow.
What?
Nothing.
hit
He
his
was
head.
making a joke saying that he was the nail and I hit it on the head.
Okay, so this is the equipment that the three of you get. I'll tell you what you get in a second, Lucas. So all of you get a chronopiece, a magnocular scope, which is both a scope and a binocular, 2 ration packs, a respirator, and a vox bead.
Okay, you just put those. Alright. Vox bead.
And you, Lucas, you hear me?
Yes.
All right, you get all of those, all 5 of those, but also yours includes a data slate.
Oh boy.
In other words, you're gonna have to be the guy who has the data slate.
Yep.
A Rolex watch. That's really big. That's nice.
Okay, so I have 2 monoscopes now.
Fair enough. Never about to have a second.
Yeah, because
so
I got
For both
because one's a
eyes.
weapon upgrade and the other one's just a scope.
There you have one for both eyes.
Yeah, a magnocular scope is basically a telescope, but can also be attached to a weapon through magnetic locking equipment.
Maximo will attach it to his bayonet.
You mean your Reaper gun?
No, he attaches the scope to his bayonet.
It increases the accuracy and range.
Alright, so
It's a Call of Duty joke.
fair enough. And your vox beads, now, I will inform of the following. So, the vox bead has basically you can switch channels, and there is a little note that basically tells you about your vox beads. So here's what you note. If you click it once, it is on, and it is transmitting to the squad channel. So that one is the one only those specific 4 vox beads are connected to. If you click it twice and press on the second, you can access communications with Xerxes' spear, the ship. You won't have to remember how many times you click it. I'm just letting you all know that you have basically when it's for squad channels, and if you like do a special interaction with it, basically you spend an action to interact with it, you can talk to the ship. This in case you need to report something, and so on. It also says that once you meet with your interrogator, he will also have access to your squad channel by basically synchronizing his vox with yours. So you will be able to communicate with him as well through the squad channel. Or that he will be able to communicate with you through the squad channel. Alright, is that all understood?
Mm-hmm.
Dad can text us what we want from McDonald's. Gotcha.
Well, more like your manager always hears what you say. I see nobody wants to make a comment on that, so we're moving on.
Message understood.
Yes.
Yeah, don't need to elaborate.
So, I assume you all prep up and are ready to move to hangar B.
Yes.
So, without further ado, you meet again at the elevator. Go down. There's basically one massive elevator area that leads to the hangars. So you take that one, go down, and you enter the hangars area. You walk for a long while because hangar B is as far away from the elevator as can be. And you see several like Valkyrie ships waiting as you're basically walking along each other. And this is the first time you would see each other in full gear, by the way. If there's anything you would like to discuss with that in mind as you're getting there.
If a chance, I'd like to describe myself better than I did the test thing, because I didn't realize that that's what it was.
Oh,
That's why I re-described myself.
Yes, you all may describe yourselves as you see fit. Go ahead.
Yeah, just real quick. You see Austin in basically a light set of power armor. Wait, light power armor. You know what I mean. Power armor that is light. Colored black with... Sorry, I get past all that. A lot of different colors on his suit. He looks like a clown threw up on him, essentially. Most importantly, gold trimmed red sunglasses.
The Eldar, shoot him.
Maybe. White hat with pink, curl around it with blue feather, with a power sword and plasma pistol, both very gold plated with a red glowed plasma pistol, and most sort of strikingly, ironically, is a blackened cape of, you're not quite sure what the animal is, but it's lizard.
It has scales.
Yeah, scaled. Blackened and sort of looking burnt, almost.
Would you
That's
like to
all.
go next? We should have a description for your characters, since this is our first official stream.
Yep.
David,
Would
why don't you go?
David, where did you go?
All right.
David.
So, as you're all just like gathering around, you see David come out in this all black carapace armor. Like, this is full Tempestus Scion black carapace. The undergarments that, like, basically to help stop the carapace from rubbing on him is...
A uniform?
Yeah, the uniform is it's almost in like an urban sort of pattern. And on the mask to the helmet is this almost like skull motif. And on the left shoulder pad, or pauldron, is the 54th on it. That's the number and basically designation of what unit he's from. As he just stands there looking at you, and you can tell just like underneath the cloth that's just around his neck looks to be an orc tooth necklace. So it's basically just a necklace just covered in orc teeth that he's basically taken from orcs he's probably killed.
Or punch tail really hard.
Yes. And in his hands, he's holding not a hot shot las gun, not a long las. No, in his hands, he's holding a hot shot volley gun. As he's just stood there, just staring at the rest of the party. As you can now hear, his breathing is a little bit more audible due to the, well, mask of the helmet.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, I just imagine it's just like. Has anyone seen the Sodaz animation of the
Yeah, there was the siren one.
Marine? It's basically that breathing when it zooms in into their face.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. All right, who would like to go next? Perhaps Lucas.
I'll go. So, Mike here. So, as you guys are as we're approaching Valkyrie and kind of just waiting a little bit for when we are given permission to board, you just see this faded blue, the classic faded blue trench coat of the Creek Guardsman, the gas mask bearing a skull visage on top with a nice bucket helm with the skull aquila blazing on it. He's currently wielding a not a hot shot lasgun as standard for the stormtrooper, but instead a much more longer and sleeker long las as he's checking it over, making sure that all the gears in place and working properly. The hanger lights kind of just showing more just the dents and scarring of his plate armor, as it showing the faded dark gray of the Krieger Grenadier ears in its nice full glory.
That is wonderful. I already described myself as a Ogren Vistorian warrior with a nice well-trimmed haircut, a nice well-handed-by mustache, and my Ripper gun. Everything okay? Everything seems to be quiet.
No, it's all quiet. I'm just letting you all have your moment. Sorry. So as you're all walking towards the hangar, you see one of the Valkyrie pilots looks at a like small paper and then waves you over. Because you know, the paper said there is an Ogrin. You will know.
And he looks fly as hell with that mustache.
Yeah, and he be looking fly. So I assume you all approach.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The pilot greets you and goes, "Howdy, gentlemen. I will be your pilot today. You may call me Dara. Where are we heading?" Just messing with you. I know where we're heading. Castle on X, right?
Correct.
I just imagine that he's just like, he just sees the road trader and the ogre and he's like, haha, some friendly people, and then he just sees the two guys in like skull motif masks.
See, actually,
He's just like, fuck.
the pilot's a woman.
We're
all gonna die. Joking.
Ah, fuck. I'm driving.
All right, gentlemen. I know this may not be your usual void vessel, but by all means, make yourself comfortable within this fine Valkyrie, and this fine Valkyrie will pilot you down there.
Is the vehicle too small for Maximo to get on?
You can get in if you like slouch a little.
Okay. I don't know if it'll proc my fear test again.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay. It seems to be more roomy this time. It's one of those extra large Valkyries instead of the normal ones.
As David's like walking past the pilot, he just turns to look at her and just goes, I believe the rogue trader is the only one that hasn't flown in a Valkyrie before.
Oh well, I'm sure there's a first time for all of us.
Yep. Yeah, Maximo's say
Good morning, ma'am.
as he goes on.
Well, I am
Excuse-
pleasant. Yes.
No, I was talking to him. I was going to say, excuse me, I've been on plenty of different ships, right? Before there was this one time, right? There was this ocean plant doing some totally legal and totally legit business trades, and oh boy, the winds on that place, absolute turnover. Let me tell you.
Piece of advice. He's looking at you.
Go on.
Remain silent, and you will live longer.
Here for a good time, not a long time. As he gets in.
Well, I'm sure there's nothing wrong with just a bit of banter. Now, if you all wouldn't mind, I would highly advise you strap in because, well, as we descend on Castle on X, I take no responsibility if a giant bug tries to eat us.
Maximo
It will
will,
not be the first time for me.
will have an easier time because this is one of those extra large Valkyries that has been fitted for an Ogren.
Yeah, they brought a special seat for you.
They got me the booster seat. Ogren edition.
I'm sending you over your wrath. Not you, I'm talking to... I'm talking to the man who tried to call me out of the chat. There's your wrath. So, you all board the Valkyrie, and the pilot goes over to her seat, straps in, and then looks behind and goes, "Can one of you trooper fellas mount the gun position? In case we have to."
David gets up and goes to get into the weapon systems.
Alright, I'm gonna inform you what this baby has on it. In case you need to fire it. I don't think you will as of now, but you know, it's good to know for the future. Let's see here. Aeronautica Imperialis. We'll get to it eventually. In just a moment. There we go.
Can I just ask a quick question? I'm guessing I'm guessing the pilot isn't the interrogator Loke.
No. See, her name is Dara, as I said.
Ah.
Yep, I already typed it inside my thing for our pilot.
Mm-hmm. So the gunner position has a console which has control of the 2 heavy bolters attached to the wings, the Hell Strike missiles, and the multi-laser on the front. And, you know, I will say that a Valkyrie has enough room for 12 passengers and 3 crew. So, you know, it's plenty spacious for you, Maximo.
Indeed.
You can take up
lie
3
and
seats if you
feel
want to.
comfortable.
Yeah.
Or 5 if you want to lay down.
Yes. And takeoff begins. And this one is much faster than the last one. There's the depressurization process and everything, of course. You all step in. You're all safe. Now, Maximo, you have enough space to have multiple nets securing you, so you feel better.
Indeed, he does.
And you know, it's a calm ride. At some point, the pilot chimes in through the Vox unit in the back of the ship and goes, "All right, gentlemen, I'm here to inform you that we will shortly be entering orbit of our precious and beloved swamp planet. So get ready for that." And
I can hear it through the ship already. It's weird. I like the ambience. It's funny.
we're now heading to Castle on Rex. And the ship flies in. Transition into the atmosphere is good.
Roll.
Is good. None of you gets the urge to heave. And
I don't think any of us would.
yeah, and then there is the bump of landing. And the pilot goes, "All right, we're here at the outpost where your interrogator is stationed. I will be in case any of you are gonna be looking for me in a later date, I will be in a nearby city. I wish you luck, and off my ship."
All right.
Maximus
Thanks
steps off
for the
the
ride,
ship.
dear.
Yes, it smells funny here.
Oh yeah, I mean, the moment you all step out, I want you all. Well, actually, not all. I want the 2 people who are not Death Worlders. Okay, no, actually, even you guys, you're not used to this kind of thing.
I mean, I've got a respirator on, so
Yeah, but the
have a full-
respirator is to stop you from getting poisoned, not to stop the smell.
I'm wearing a gas mask.
That doesn't stop the smell either, trust me. I've worn one before.
But have you
For many
worn a
reasons.
Krieger version?
Yes.
Doubt it.
I mean, I'm just gonna say this: Krieg gas masks are actually only designed to stop radiation.
And toxicity.
A little
Yeah.
bit, but they're mostly designed to stop radiation because that's all that's on Krieg. That's the only reason why Krieg is classed as a death world is because of the amount of radiation on it.
Well, they dropped nukes on it, so there you go. Anyway, I want everybody to make me a DNFA toughness test.
I am used to this. I remember I had to deal with the groks and the bulls. They usually stink a lot, but not as bad as this.
The Greaseman begins throwing up.
No, the mask. The mask. You're
smell
supposed to
that
take
air.
it off.
I'm gonna put it like this: David, you bear it. Maximo, you're fine. Lucas, you're a little bit nauseous from the smell, but nothing too bad. Like, but it does register that this planet is gonna be hell.
The
Austin,
smell reminds me of my aunt's cooking.
Austin, you're marking your position right now. They're gonna know Austin Al sarcasm vomited here.
And I'll be damn
Your
proud.
vial looks like the same color as your armor. Colorful. How in the Emperor's name did you get that managed? You could say he's dying on the inside. No wonder why he has a colored personality.
Aesthetic.
I'm just gonna say this. Your last meal was probably prison food.
I ate 3 markers.
You ate 3 markers.
He's almost like a marine. He survives off of crayons.
That was my reference, yes.
Yep.
The rogue trader survives solely off of crayons. God damn it.
Possibly his intelligence is 1. Anyway, as you're heading, you see the outpost in the distance. It's like, imagine basically a radio tower with like an Imperium style fence.
As we were walking, what type of ground is it? Is it sloppy or
It's
like a
mud.
pathway? Mud?
No,
Yeah, like
getting
every
in my
time your
boots.
every time your boot steps in,
It's an
for you
audible
it's
snort.
ankle height. Yeah, it's ankle height. For the rest of you, every time your boot steps in, you lose most of your boot.
Good thing I got the extra bootstraps to keep my boots on.
You just hear the power.
Slurp,
I
slurp,
think
slurp, slurp.
you just hear the
Ah,
powered
Gonna
hydraulics.
be a
on-
stain to
on-
clean out of.
Reminds me of the trench system before I was arrested.
I was trying to say something. I'm sure it interrupt.
You just hear the
What?
power, power sections of his legs. Oh God, God, love swamp plants. Yep, real glad this was our first stop. Oh boy.
Okay, so who is going up front?
I believe Maximo, because he's the toughest one.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, sure.
Don't doubt the ogre is the toughest, trust me.
I wasn't.
So as you're walking through the flora and mud to get to that radio tower, because you know it's still like a bit of distance to get to it, so you couldn't land directly on it. At some point, Maximo, I
Mhm.
want you to make me either an agility or initiative test of your choice.
Ooh. Let's see. My agility is better than my initiative, so I'm going to roll agility. I rolled 2 icons, an exalted icon known as a glory. I hope I pass.
All right, good. You do pass,
Yay!
and
Inviolable grace.
in fact, what happens is, as you're passing by a tree, you see the bush next to the tree. Actually, it's not exactly a bush, as it snaps and tries to bite at you.
Bad tree.
Nice swing at it with my bayonet.
You like swat at the plant and completely crush it.
Bad tree.
And just as you do that, you look forward, and you
Oh,
see
there it is.
the radio tower ahead of you.
Look, it's a tower. The radio tower.
Good eyes, big man. Yeah, must have a hell of a view up there.
It's tall, but not as tall as the trees. Which is...
Oh, it's taller than the taste asked me.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought it was
massive.
you said like Catachan, so... but wet. So the trees are roughly kilometers tall, so I had a bad impression then.
It's more like a normal like size trees.
Okay, so just like a standard mangrove forest. That's
Yes.
Swampy. Okay, easy enough to ease along. I was just
And-
you said Catachan, so I had the wrong impression.
It's fine. And you
Alright,
see, there is the fence with barbed wire. And there is a door that appears to be magnetically locked as of now.
Well, no time like the present. You'll just go up to the door and. Yeah.
You strike at the bars, and you don't get a response.
Ah,
I will tap on his your shoulder and just
I think they mean the thing in your ear.
Right. He'll tap his ear. Try to communicate with this thing.
What are you gonna say?
Par and me, mind open up for us? We're supposed to meet here, I believe.
The rest of you hear him dabble, and it's at that point you remember that he was gonna synchronize his vox beat with you when you met. So currently you're only synchronized to your squad.
He doesn't know that.
Fair enough. I mean, it was on the paper you were handed.
David, upon seeing this, just sighs and just takes a step back. I'm guessing this is like a little small outpost.
It's basically a radio tower surrounded by an electric fence.
I'm guessing if I shouted, they'd be able to hear us.
Yep. Don't actually shout though.
Excuse me?
Don't actually shout like above
No.
game.
No, I'm not gonna actually shout out of game.
He has to tell that because of me.
Yes. Yeah. So, David, basically upon seeing these people just act like complete idiots, just goes, "This is Squad Psi 3315, reporting for duty. To 1, Interrogator Lock."
You yell that.
Yes.
To make sure that like it's heard, like there's an echo through the jungle, through the swamp. Still nothing.
Let me see. I'm going to try the Vox beat this time, but let's see here.
We
Try
just
to-
tried that.
Maximo will try to flip to the channels, trying to figure out which one's the right one. Hopefully, he can try
You
to find
currently
the
have the
signal.
squad in the ship.
Squad in the ship.
Yeah.
Then he'll send a small Vox pulse to the ship and just
We have arrived at Radio Tower. Could you inform we're here?
After like a minute or two, you get a response back. Squad Psi 3315, do you copy?
Yes. We here.
Radio tower seems vacant.
Ah,
No copies from them. Zax's spear out.
you heard that? They say Radio Tower is vacant. This is not good.
It shouldn't be.
Yes, it shouldn't.
Suggest stay on high
precaution.
alert.
As a
Maximo.
precaution, I'd like to look through the. I like to look down the sights of my lawn lads, taking a wide look of the of the area to see if anything's out of place.
And
You scope in and look through the windows of the radio tower. Doesn't seem like there's any signs of anything worrying.
It's quiet in there. I don't see anything from the windows.
Maximo will probably think consider this a dangerous move, but he wants to test if the electrical fence is actually electrified.
Oh, it
With the
is.
It is? Okay. So
Yeah, you don't need to roll something. You can see like
the sparks?
you can see the device
flying into
attached
it?
to it.
Okay. Then you probably just start walking to the left or the right of the facility to look for anything else suspicious. So he may be breaking squad coherency for a bit. With a his brow going down, furrowed, and just
I don't like this at all.
Are
Could
there
I
any
argue
like
we do an awareness
indications out
test?
where we could
No,
find?
you don't do an awareness test.
yay.
What do you say, Blackwood?
I was just gonna ask, would we be able to like look around to see if there was like any hints about where the people in the outpost have gone?
Not really.
Maximo was talking to Foxbeat to the rest of the squad.
No contacts yet. Still looking.
And it's at this point that you all start hearing what sounds like an engine and tires going through mud.
Lucas will go to a relative. Will take a knee and get into a firing position as he's trying to track where the sound's coming from.
It's coming from the muddy road that leads to the outpost.
Maximo
Not from where you guys came, but from the other side.
Yeah, Maximo will probably find what type of applicable cover they could actually get. Since he's an ogre and he's too big for such covers. So
Yeah.
he's going to try.
David,
You can all tie
everyone
to stealth on
cover
the floor.
now. As he basically, okay. David just shouts, "Everyone cover now!" and then gets into position, like watching the road.
Alright, Maximo will attempt to stealth. He rolls a score of 2.
Right? Right?
Oh, stealthing. Okay.
I mean, you should cover, so might as well hide in the bushes.
6.
Nice. So basically,
Yes, I have
To the
stealth.
darkness.
David,
let me put it this way:
where did David
all
go?
of you like, hide behind the trees and the bushes, and you are well hidden. And then there is David, who just enters the mud of the swamp, and you just see a volley gun, 2 volley gun barrels exiting the mud.
Basically, I look like I'm just a set of reeds.
Yeah, just 2 metal reeds.
He's using
With
one
red
barrel as
dots.
a freaking snorkel.
And
Oh yeah,
you see
because
this,
I'm the
like,
sniper, I'll be keeping a close eye on
Just-
when the
Basically,
vehicle comes into view.
I just
Alright.
imagine that David just kind of turns into a Katachan for a moment and just disappears into the jungle.
yes.
Womp.
You understand? You are like an. Have you ever seen a crocodile prowling on a zebra where they're inside the water? That's David. And yes, you're targeting the sound with your scope, and eventually you see like this Imperial vehicle with a track bed, like 4-wheel vehicle, all terrain with a track bed, just come to a halt outside the magnetic gate and like park in front of the fence. And on the track bed you see this giant insectoid creature. Well, less like insectoid and more like, imagine a mix between an insect and a dinosaur.
Hmm.
You have a problem.
And
I get on the
you
Vox,
hear,
report what I see.
oh, I mean, you all see this, like, this is parked right in front of all of you. And the windows are actually like you can't actually see through them. They're like dark. But you hear a door close from the other side where the driver's seat is. And you see, like, there's a figure behind the truck, like, unlatching the truck bed to try and take out this creature.
Question:
It's-
Have we been given an image for Inquisitor Locke?
Oh no.
Does this, well, not Inquisitor, but Interrogator, does this guy look like an interrogator?
You can't see him, you just hear that he's like trying to push this thing out of the track, but from the other side of the track. And then eventually you like Lucas, you are like trained on where you see this figure from like underneath the track where you're seeing its boots. And eventually you see it stop, and the blink of an eye it has just disappeared.
I think this is the one we need to introduce ourselves.
Maxima will break cover.
Locke, is that you?
And would the rest of you march out of cover once he does that?
I stay in
David's
cover.
staying hidden. He is one with the swamp.
And
you
he
say-
was, he's rightfully where he belongs, in the ground. Like
As you say that,
dirt.
as you say, Locke, is that you?
Mhm.
You all see a figure stand on top of the track that you can't really see the fine details of because the sun is behind him, so it's like a giant shadow with a very big hat. And it's holding
Maxima
what
will try
some
to
is,
block out the sun with his hand while also trying to look still.
and it's holding what appears to be a bolt gun with a very large scope and a silencer. And you hear a voice go, "And you must be the chaps. I am to shot on a big game hunt here." And that's where we're gonna end the
Yes.
session.
PSI 3315.
And that's where we're gonna end the session.
Okay.
David still
You
hiding.
said game, right? GAME? Game?
Yes.
Right.
Alright,
Like,
I heard
like
something
he
else.
is hunting.
We're setting
Yeah,
off with a big
Basically,
game
you got assigned to the big game hunter interrogator.
Oh, fun. Crikey.
Well, looks like we're going to be playing with Sir Hammerlock.
Yes,
So are we
Hooray.
hunting boner farts?
I have no idea, but it's gonna be fun.
Oh, we're gonna
So-
have to be hunting boner farts. Oh, Zog.
I would like to first of all thank the four of you for playing,
Ooh.
You're welcome, boss.
and I would like to thank myself for showing up, even if I was a tiny bit late.
Maximo
I would like
will
to
wag
thank-
his finger.
I would like
never
to thank
be late.
yes, thank you. But I would like to thank the audience for being here, whether that's live or watching afterwards. It's
Yes,
gonna be on
I
YouTube
thank
after the
everyone
live.
for watching.
And on that note, I would like to say that it will be exciting to see all of you on our next session, which is gonna be a week from now.
Mm-hmm.
But after that session, Hellfighters will move to a bi-weekly plan. So we're gonna have a week off and a week where we do a live and have a session. I'm just making that clear for everyone, players and audience included. And I'll be excited to see you through all of those. Now,
Yes.
do we have anything else we want to say at the end before we go?
Outros. I am Although,
I am being played by Amakar Gist, also known as Big Mek Plays, who plays this Vestorian Ogren Maximo. You can find my stuff on my channel here, of other campaigns I have ran, and soon more to follow. Eventually. I still thank you all
Nice.
for even showing up, and to the special artists who even provide us artwork and all this. In the glorious name of the Emperor, I say, have yourself a day.
Oh, yeah, and a special thank you to Weird Salmon Comics for making the commissioned artwork for Maximum.
indeed, and he's glorious. For next week, he's going to be colorful.
Oh, yes. Now, the rest of you, would you like to say anything for the outro?
Drink water, kids.
And don't forget to exercise your daily regimens. And eat your vegetables.
And your hot sauce.
And
So much
remember,
hot sauce. Always hot sauce.
remember, children, innocence proves nothing, and the Inquisition is always watching you.
And don't play
And
with
al-
guns.
And always remember, the Emperor protects the faithful.
All right,
Burn, heretic.
all right. Big Guy, see us out of here.
Alright, I will see you all. Alright, hitting the close screen button. Click. Alright, see you all later. Don't forget your homework.